today's story is Fish is Fish by Leo Liani. At the edge of the woods, there was a pond, and there a minnow and a tadpole swam among the weeds. They were inseparable friends. One morning, the tadpole discovered that during the night, he had grown 2 little legs. 1, 2. "Look," he said triumphantly. "Look, I am a frog." "Nonsense," said the minnow. "How could you be a frog if only last night you were a little fish just like me?" They argued and argued until finally the tadpole said, "Frogs are frogs and fish is fish, and that's that." In the weeks that followed, the tadpole grew tiny front legs, and his tail got smaller and smaller. And then, one fine day, a real frog now, he climbed out of the water and onto the grassy bank. Frogs are special creatures called amphibians, which means they can live in the water or on land. The minnow too had grown and had become a full-fledged fish. He often wondered where his 4-footed friend had gone. But days and weeks went by and the frog did not return. Minnow looks kind of sad. Have you ever been sad when you've missed someone that you haven't seen in a while? That's how Minnow is feeling. And then one day, with a happy splash that shook the weeds, the frog jumped into the pond. "Where have you been?" asked the fish excitedly. "I have been around the world, hopping here and there," said the frog, "and I have seen extraordinary things." "Like what?" asked the fish. "Birds," said the frog mysteriously. "Birds." And he told the fish about the birds, who had wings, 2 legs, and many colors. As the frog talked, his friend Fish saw the birds fly through his mind like large feathered fish. "What else?" asked the fish impatiently. "Cows," said the frog. "Cows, they have 4 legs, horns, they eat grass, and they carry pink bags of milk." And this is what Fish saw in his mind. "And people," said the frog, "men, women, children," and he talked and talked until it was dark in the pond. But the picture in Fish's mind was full of lights and colors and marvelous things, and he couldn't sleep. If he could only jump about like his friend and see the wonderful world. This is the wonderful world that Fish wants to see. Fish birds and fish cows and fish people. And so the days went by. The frog had gone and the fish just lay there dreaming about the birds in flight, grazing cows, and those strange animals all dressed up that his friend called people. One day, he finally decided that come what may, he too must see them. And so with a mighty whack of the tail, he jumped clear out of the water and onto the bank. Now, fish are not like frogs. They cannot live on the land. He landed in the dry, warm grass, and there he lay, gasping for air, unable to breathe or move. "Help!" he groaned feebly. Luckily, the frog, who had been hunting butterflies nearby, saw him and with all his strength pushed him back into the pond. Still stunned, the fish floated about for an instant. Then he breathed deeply, letting the clean, cool water run through his gills. Now he felt weightless again, and with an ever so slight motion of the tail, he could move to and fro, up and down, just as before. The sun rays reached down within the weeds and gently shifted patches of luminous color. This world was surely the most beautiful of all worlds. He smiled at his friend the frog, who sat watching him from a lily leaf. "You were right," he said. "Fish is fish."